What if you've been sitting on real estate license for over 20 years and it wasn't until you recently finally went all in and realized how much was actually possible? Because that's exactly what my next guest did. And she has been building since going full time as in a master class in a community driven business. So my guest today is Dailey, a Pennsylvania realtor who has been licensed since 2004 and born and raised in Bucks County, which means she doesn't just sell homes there. She genuinely loves the place. She's built her business through her sphere of influence, referrals, open houses, and she found a local social club called What's Up in Lower Bucks, because when you're hyper local, you don't just know your market, you are your actual market. So Anna then joined EXP and the Wolf Pack for the culture and the training, and today she's going to share what all is going on and what it actually looks like when you are deeply rooted in your community. So let's get into it. Hey Anna, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited to dive in, and it's good to see you. So I just have a few questions, and yeah, we'll get this started. So you have been licensed since 2004, but you didn't go full time until a few years ago. So what finally made you decide to commit fully, and what shifted when you did?
I think the decision was, my daughter was older. I had gotten a license. I was full time at a corporate job, so it was just really part time with real estate. And then, I had my daughter, and I enjoyed, all the years with her. So finally, I'm like, all right, she doesn't really need me as much. Let me dive in. And it was around that time that I got introduced to the Wolf Pack. So it was perfect timing.
Yeah, the Wolf Pack's great. I think everybody that I've had on here from the Wolf Pack, like, we just love our community, and you can't tell us anything different, but so much support. And so your business is built on sphere of influence, referrals, open houses. For agents who feel like those strategies are too old school, what would you tell them about that?
So if they feel that's too old school, then, they came to the right place, right? The Wolf Pack will get you where you want to be through social media and get your presence really globally instead of just, hyper local, if that's not your route you want to take.
Right. But it worked so well for you. So can you, is that still kind of like your go-to for business, or do you have other methods these days?
No, it's still my go-to for business, but I am expanding. I am getting my button gear and getting my YouTube channel consistent. And also I am getting my systems in place. So, yeah, but as of now, I am focusing on those methods that you did mention.
Yeah, I think that if you, especially these days, if you can actually mix like the old school methods and the new school methods, it could be extremely valuable and beneficial for people's businesses. I still cold call, which, that's a lot of what my business was based on. I don't actually love it, but I know it works. So, but now, like with doing social media and mixing the two, it's definitely scaled. So I'm glad those are still working for you. And so you were born and raised in Bucks County, and even started a local social club called What's Up in the Lower Bucks. How does being that deeply rooted in your community translate into real estate business?
I think it just makes you more like a trusted advisor. So I started the social club not only because I'm obsessed with where I live, but I wanted to be a resource for people that, are moving, relocating to our area, as well as people that have been here as long as I have. And they are like, I had no idea that, we had this here in our backyard. So It's good to support local businesses and bring the community together.
Yeah, I love that you do that, because I think there's a lot of value in it, but it's also fun. Like, you get to know people and connect to other people. Like, what I found in my, working in my community is I'm not just out there connecting people with my real estate business, but like other businesses as well. And so, yeah, it helps you to become like the go-to person for sure. And so when you joined EXP and the Wolf Pack, specifically for the culture and the training, what does the culture actually feel like from the inside, and how has it impacted the way that you run your business today?
It immediately felt like family. Everyone, I feel like we all have the same vibe. Like, we all want to support one another. We all feel like we all immediately click with one another. I love that we can go anywhere in the world, find a Wolfpack member, and they take you in under their wing. One time me and Alda were in Florida, and we're like, oh, I'm like, there's a Wolfpack member here. Let's reach out to him. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I'll take you girls like to a salsa club. So we like had a great time. Never met him before, but yeah, we had a great time.
That's so great. I know that's been my whole like experience as well, and making connections. Like we connected right away when we first got in contact with each other. And I absolutely love our community. I love too that we can reach out to each other, not just like support, but what's working for you where you're at that I could try to implement here, which also kind of makes us stand out, right? Because we're not doing business like our local agents are doing business. We're doing it more the way that global agents are doing their business. And so I couldn't agree more with like what you're saying. And hands down, we have like the best community. So going from part-time to full-time, that was like a big leap. So what did you have to change? Not just, little steps, but mentally, operationally, maybe even financially, to make that transition actually work for you?
The biggest thing was my mindset. And with the Wolfpack, we have Connor's call on Monday and then our calls with Mike on Tuesday. And honestly, just staying consistent with that and being plugged in really did a shift, because I'm like, wow, I'm hearing everyone's wins at the beginning of the call. Everyone's supportive, sharing what works. Let me test that, or let me reach out to them, get more information. And when you're surrounded by so many people that are just like winning and want to see you win, like it just pulls you up. Like you have no choice but to do that too.
I agree. I totally agree. And I think too, it's like we're always evolving, right? So what I started learning within the Wolfpack 4 years ago when I started has changed so much. And so that's what I try to like explain to people. We're so innovative, like we're ahead of the game, and it's almost like being like futuristic, right? But I think that the calls are just amazing. And you can put some input on this, but like that's how we kind of feel like we're not by ourselves, right? Because we are a cloud-based brokerage. So I've heard, a lot of people, oh, there's no office to go to. But when you plug into this community, you don't need that anymore. And has that been your same kind of experience?
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's crazy to think, how are we at a cloud-based brokerage? And I feel more connected with so many more people than I did at a brick and mortar.
Yeah.
I don't know how everyone's experience is different at their own brick and mortar, if that's where they are, but I felt like there was so much gatekeeping, and everyone was like hush hush about what's working for them. Like heaven forbid, like I steal any business, but there's more than enough to go around, right? So I just love our mentality that it's just like an abundance mindset.
Yeah, I agree. And I experienced the same thing because EXP is my fourth brokerage, and every other one that I was at was like your top producers. They didn't want to share it because competition, right? But I say the same thing. Like there's enough business for everybody, and we're all going to do it differently. And somebody who wants to work with me may not want to work with you, or vice versa. And I think it hurts the industry more than it like helps, so I couldn't agree more. And I definitely I feel like EXP as a whole, even outside of the Wolf Pack, like we get these great trainings from our top producing agents, and they don't gatekeep, and which is really nice. And it's actual like real trainings. It's not just like some meeting where they kind of give you a little bit and then you're out to figure out everything on your own. And so let me ask you about your open houses. So that's one of your main lead sources. So what do you do differently to make your open houses actually convert into clients? How does that whole system work?
So I don't know if there's any one thing. I love getting out in the community and meeting people. So I am that person that will door knock, before the open house, and get to know the neighbors and get to know, what do you love about being here? How long have you been here? And, just having that conversation, do you know anyone that wants to join you here? I guess a common thing, but it's something I love doing. And even though some of the business doesn't come directly from door knocking, I feel the energy you put out brings it in. So I'll have people just come in and say, I like this house, but I need to sell mine. It's crazy. Just things just kind of flow when you put stuff out there, right?
Yeah. And so you like to door knock. So you're door knocking around your open houses basically. Yeah. And so there's a lot of people who are afraid to door knock. What kind of tips and tricks do you have to give yourself the confidence, or give somebody else the confidence in in door knocking? How's your experience been?
It's been good. Like, so if you come from value and you're like inviting the neighbors to join an open house, so I create like little invitations and just print them out and hand them. So it makes them feel like wanted. And the feedback, if anyone's scared, the feedback is, I'd say 95% of the time, they're like, oh my God, thank you so much. I felt like I wasn't welcome to an open house. I love that you're having a neighbors only open house prior to the public. And then I have like a drawing that I do, if you come in and you fill out the questionnaire and submit it, I will, announce the winner on the Facebook group or like email you or contact you.
Oh, that's a really good idea. And I think door knocking the neighbors and inviting them versus like, oh, I'm trying to get your business is super valuable, because it's like you said, like they don't want to be sold, right? Somebody's knocking on their door. They don't want to be sold a product. So an invite is definitely super helpful. And I love that. I love that tactic. And so for any agents who have been in the business for a while, but they feel like they haven't fully unlocked their potential yet, what would you tell them based on where you are now?
Run, don't walk to the Wolf Pack, because if I could be an example, like I said, I've had my license forever, and it wasn't until having like the Wolf Pack community that I really got more direction in which way I want to like grow my business, and I guess methods that felt more authentic to me, like because some people might not like door knocking, but we don't push that. So like so many different strategies that we have in the Wolf Pack that you can choose from, and you have all the tools you need to go forward with it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I really dove into our YouTube strategy this last year, and it's like it's taking off, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it does work. It really works. I've been hearing about it and learning about it since I joined, but I never really did it. For me, it wasn't necessarily a confidence thing. It was more the back end editing, and anybody who watches this channel knows I'm not an editor. I hired somebody for that, but it keeps me consistent. And now we are seeing like real results, and it's crazy how it kind of just like snowballs. Like you start thinking, maybe this will work out. And it's proven data that our trainings work, and not just on YouTube. Like we have open house strategies, and we have people who have shared their door knocking strategies and cold calling and ads. So even if, social media and YouTube are not like the way for everybody, we have amazing trainings and coaching and support for all of the methods, and even some out there that a lot of people may not even think about. So I do appreciate you sharing that. You've been amazing. I really appreciate your time and for being here today. Your story is such a great reminder that it's never too late to go all in, and that when you are truly rooted in your community, your business grows in a way that feels completely natural. So thank you so much for being here and sharing that. And for those of you watching, if today's conversation resonated with you, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single interview on this channel. And if you're ready to plug into a culture and community that actually supports your growth, click the link in the description and book a private call with Anna and myself. And I will have all of Anna's links in the description as well, so you can follow along with her. Thank you, Anna. I appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Talk to you soon. Bye.